shaping our community.
I was one of the youngest African-American paramedics in the Bay Area.
With thoughtful work.
These are the faces of the children that I work with.
And determination.
I was one of 2 people to be selected.
Celebrating the leaders.
I'm always looking to see what people are doing to better themselves.
And the generations before them.
Those now are sacrifices that I can appreciate.
Teaching the power of law, art, public service, and more.
All of this has taught me to always want to be helpful.
In a KCRA 3 Project Community Special.
There's an art in everything.
Celebrating Black History Month.
Welcome and thank you for joining us. I'm Cecil Hannibal. This year, the national theme for Black History Month is African Americans and labor. It's a time for us to reflect on the profound ways work intersects with the collective experiences of Black people. Tonight, we have stories from around Northern California about African American community members who are making the world around them a better place. In their own way, each person is serving their community and inspiring others to do the same. We started Sacramento State, where I spoke with the school's new head coach, Brennan Marion, about his vision for the team and how the game of football changed his life.
Now back to pass goes Johnson and throws near side, caught by Brennan Marion.
Football is like religion.
He's going to prance into the end zone.
Brennan Marion believes football is where faith meets determination.
David Johnson to Brennan Marion.
Where one season, one play can change a life.
I have a tattoo on my arm that says, "Thank God for the ball to save my life." Football was kind of what brought me family.
It changed his.
Our 13th head football coach here at Sacramento State, Coach Brennan Marion.
Marion, who's known for his unorthodox play calls and his flamboyant style on the sidelines, is now the first Black football coach at Sacramento State. What does being the first Black coach for this program mean to you?
I think it's great responsibility. You know, we can be from where we came from to get where we're at right now and lead a university to greatness.
A man forged in the steel city of Pittsburgh, a place known for its love of football.
I told my mom I didn't want to play football when I was a kid, and she was like, "Well, you can get out of my house, you know, like you're going to play football."
But life at home forced Marion to grow up fast.
Obviously, I grew up Section 8, projects, you know, like rough. We moved every year. I thought that was kind of like a curse on my life when I was a kid, that, you know, like, why is this always happening to me?
Years ago, both his parents struggled with addiction. At 15, he put his mother in a women's shelter just to save her from an abusive boyfriend.
At that time, I was like, man, I just got to be successful. Eviction notice on the door, like, it was just a lot going on, and I was just like, you know what, I got to be somebody. Like,
Marion went from periods of homelessness to breaking NCAA records at Tulsa University.
But anytime you get Brennan Marion on this.
He went undrafted, eventually signing with the Miami Dolphins, before injuries forced him to choose a different path.
I just went all into coaching, and it's, you know, been the greatest thing of my life.
Coaching with a dozen programs, including Howard University, where he perfected the scheme that would make him famous, the go-go offense.
The name go-go came from really the DC culture.
Named after go-go music, an ode to DC's Black musicians of the 70s.
Put the ball away!
Which goes hand in hand with his respect for other Black coaches.
You talk about Herm Edwards, Denny Green. When I see those coaches, I see winning coaches. I don't just see Black coaches, I see coaches that have won. And that's why they have the positions they have. And so it's my job to win.
This is how you want it right here, man.
It's that winning mentality that sent him back home to Pittsburgh.
One, slap, rip through.
Before stopping in Longhorn country. And finally, UNLV.
We want to have a quality.
All while waiting for his shot at the top job.
Sacramento State was the school that said yes, and so I'm excited to be here and get it rolling.
He's inheriting a program as Sac State looks to join a bigger conference, build a bigger stadium, and mold a roster of young men with big dreams.
To whom much is given, much is required, and I've always kind of lived by that. To really meet kids where they're at and help them grab them and help them get on the right path to where they should go. You can't put a price tag on that. Like, this could be something here.
He's determined to pack out these stands, take Sac State to new heights, and bring the go-go to Sacramento. What an inspiring story. You know, Coach Marion tells us while at Texas, he had a conversation with actor Matthew McConaughey that helped him take his hat game to the next level. And eventually, he says he'd like to buy a ranch here in Sacramento Valley. A Sacramento judge is making history. Judge Bunmi Awanyi is the first African-American presiding judge for the Sacramento Superior Court. As KCRA 3's Brandy Cummings shows us, she started her term 1 year ago and says it's been a year filled with triumphs and learning lessons.
Remain seated to come to order. Department 47 is now in session.
It's a familiar sound inside Sacramento County Superior courtrooms, but the path to the bench for this judge wasn't clear-cut.
I sort of just chose law, not because I'd done an undergraduate course study, not because I had relatives, because it was one of the options that was provided to me.
Last month, Judge Bunmi Awanyi marked her anniversary as the first Black presiding judge for the Sacramento County Superior Court. Her first year filled with lessons and triumphs.
Informative, enlightening, exhilarating, challenging, exceeded my expectations in many positive ways.
Her journey began far from Sacramento. Born in England to Nigerian immigrants, she was the eldest of 5 children. Her parents stressed that perseverance was a core value.
The cultural lessons that they had to learn, trying to integrate and keep their cultural identity, the financial resources that they lacked, the lack of extended family help and support. But those now are sacrifices that I can appreciate.
After years of working in England's legal system, the U.S. offered her a new frontier through a program for promising young lawyers to represent their home country abroad.
I was one of 2 people to be selected, and I chose America as an international Pegasus.
Her first stop? Sacramento, where after the program ended, she decided to stay, but not without challenges like just getting a job.
They didn't understand the English legal system and the qualifications or how I got there.
Eventually, she started her own law practice at this building in Sacramento's Oak Park. After 18 years as a family law attorney, she's now spent more than a decade as a judge. But her volunteer work off the bench crosses continents.
These are the faces of the children that I work with. This is in Uganda. This is in Ethiopia.
As head of global outreach for her church, she's led teams to Africa to build a school.
If I can give these children and we can help provide a school for them, then they're going to have more opportunities.
The Honorable Judge Bunmi Awanyi, a leader in justice, paving the way for future generations. In Sacramento, I'm Brandy Cummings, KCRA 3 News, celebrating Black history.
The court is preparing to move out of its 60-year-old building. The new $514 million courthouse in downtown Sacramento is expected to be ready by early fall. Judge Awanyi says the greatest challenge will be trying to figure out how to move and keep operations running at the same time. Now to a new tour available at the California Museum honoring Black history. As KCRA 3's Aaron Heff shows us, the tour focuses on the themes of resilience, activism, and community.
So we're going to come this way, and we're going to go into our California.
A tour of the people, groups, and movements who've changed history. Black Americans in California, enriching the Golden State. The walls of the California Museum, in their own words, focused on resilience, activism, democracy, and community. And the woman at the forefront making what you see here possible is Jessica Cushenberry.
And we get to be a space where people see that African American history, that Black American history is being told continuously throughout the year, that we're not limited to a single month, that we're not limited to a single type of history, but we are in all facets of the United States military and government, agriculture, you name it. There's probably a Black figure that we can spot, and they're somewhere in one of these exhibits. Serena Williams, the 2 sisters of tennis.
Creating a self-guided tour, honoring the lives and legacies of those who've come before, and those still among us, changing the path. A new corridor dedicated to former Vice President Kamala Harris, her connection to the state, and her impact across the nation.
You can see stories and hear stories from people about their personal experiences of being people of color, particularly African American or Black American, and how that experience as a Californian has shaped or impacted them.
The signature and temporary exhibits lining the vibrant walls through the Unity Center, our War II, Women Inspire, and beyond. These pieces here only gracing us for a short time, on loan from the World War II Museum in Louisiana.
And it talks about women's contribution to military service during World War II.
Specifically, the 688.
Which was a battalion of African American women who worked in the Postal Service Division of the United States military, and how they were able to sort through all of this really large amount of mail to give morale to the soldiers. And they worked in that project both in France and in England.
The tour's path enhanced with new AI features, enabling you to connect firsthand with simulated conversations.
Black history isn't a monolith, or it doesn't look one specific way. There's a lot of ways that you can be Black in America, but it also shows you how much diversity and contributions that Black people have made to both California statehood and to this country as a whole.
A rich history lined with change makers each step of the way. At the California Museum in Sacramento, Erin Heft, KCRA 3 News.
The tour is a year-round experience with new temporary pieces as they move through Northern California. Breaking barriers and keeping our community safe. We'll introduce you to the city of Rocklin's first African-American fire chief. The dramatic moments from his early career that he says inspired him to stay in public service. Welcome back to our KCRA 3 Project Community Special, celebrating Black History Month. Breaking barriers as a public servant, KCRA 3's Brandy Cummings spoke with the city of Rocklin's first African-American fire chief about his dedication to public safety and how he got his start here in Northern California.
From delivering flowers to firefighting, Reggie Williams' career is remarkable.
And the current cost of a fire engine.
He spent 4 years as Rocklin's first African-American fire chief, leading this team of nearly 40 firefighters. He's currently the department's only Black firefighter, but blazing trails for him is nothing new.
I was one of the youngest African-American paramedics in the Bay Area, probably.
Just 1 year after graduating high school, he got his start as an EMT.
So this is a little memoir from when I first got hired in San Jose.
But in October of 1989, tragedy changed the trajectory of his career.
And I was actually on the Bay Bridge in an ambulance during the Loma Prieta earthquake. We were coming from San Francisco. We were actually on the suspension side of the bridge. So I believe it swayed with the earthquake and we didn't feel it. We would have actually been on the cyberstructure had not we stopped for Blondie's Pizza. Yeah, we would have been on that bottom section, so.
That's when he knew firefighting was in his future.
All of this has taught me to always want to be helpful, right? It influenced me to become a paramedic because there were limitations as an emergency medical technician, things that I couldn't do.
Part of San Jose's first all-paramedic class, Williams rose through the ranks, becoming assistant fire chief. He retired after 25 years, eventually moving to Rocklin to continue his legacy in a smaller, close-knit community.
It's nice to have something where it's more manageable. You can actually see the fruits of your production. Yeah, this is the day I graduated from the Fire Academy.
Williams' 30-year career is fueled by determination, even in the face of prejudice. He still remembers an experience early in his career.
And when we arrived there, I was the paramedic that was treating, and the husband was having a heart attack, and the wife says to me, "You cannot touch my husband."
But Williams focuses on service to others.
And you let it roll off your back.
And inspiring the next generation.
I'm really looking for the next phase. I think I'd like to get out and teach. I think I'd like to talk to the youth about the importance of public service, whether it's being a police officer, or EMT, paramedic, or firefighter.
No matter which hat he wears, Chief Williams plans to reshape his community one service at a time. In Rocklin, I'm Brandy Cummings, KCRA 3 News, celebrating Black history.
Under Chief Williams' leadership, the city of Rocklin was reclassified with an exemptional fire safety rating in January. Well, plans are underway to build a 4th fire station on the Sierra College campus. Station number 22 is expected to be complete by November of 2026. License plates have been around in America since 1893, and after registering the same way for nearly 100 years, one local businessman dreamt of transforming our trip to the DMV. KCRA 3's Mike Cherry caught up with the man whose influence extends across international waters, but whose roots are entrenched right here in Sacramento.
Closely, and there was something different about these Kings jerseys. You see that white patch with an R on the player's shoulders? Well, that is a small change representing a big dream come true.
Sometimes you have to pinch yourself because When everything started, it was just an idea.
Neville Boston's idea to transform the license plate industry started in 2009.
And the crazy idea was, listen, what if you didn't have to go to the DMV to do registration anymore? What if you could update it remotely?
His timing was perfect. California's DMV was transitioning to online registration. Boston had momentum to take Reviver on the road.
Those plates last the test of time. So they're built to last because they were built by the best.
Built so well, he still has the prototype in his office.
The amount of engineering work that went into, making this happen.
But you said this is 5 pounds. Did they say, is this how all of them are going to be?
This is a prototype.
Nowadays, Reviver plates aren't just lighter, they travel further. Its plates are found across California, Arizona, Michigan, even Dubai. With more states on the horizon, Reviver's sponsorship of the Kings is a slam dunk in more ways than one.
I believe it's the first African-American founded company to have a pad sponsorship in the NBA for sure, but I think in overall sports.
And he hasn't done it alone. Boston credits his own team, which is growing.
Because everybody has, accountability within them about things that they need to get done. And it's phenomenal. We're really fortunate. We've got great people, and we're hiring.
Mike Cherry, KCRA 3 News.
Reviver is not only hiring, but helping the rebuilding efforts in Southern California. The company is donating a portion of its sales to help people who lost everything in the wildfires. Still ahead, encouraging the arts. Meet the founder of a Sacramento theater dedicated to helping people fulfill their dreams on stage. Welcome back to our Project Community Special celebrating Black History Month. Earlier this month, the California Legislative Black Caucus gathered to emphasize the importance of AP African American Studies. Teachers, students, and policymakers joined together to share the success of this new course. Well, the goal was to explain how it helps schools meet new ethnic studies requirements.
Education is the cornerstone of empowerment. By engaging in African American history into our curriculum, not only do we acknowledge the past, but also informs our future.
From Bishop O'Dowd High School in Oakland also took part in that news conference to reinforce the importance of a diverse education and history in public schools. Helping countless community members reach their creative dreams. KCRA 3's Brandy Cummings spoke with the founder of Celebration Arts, James Wheatley, about how he's been able to nurture young talent in acting, dance, and so much more.
After all these years, you come dragging this in on me now.
While he may not be in the spotlight for this production, James Wheatley is in the fabric of it.
There's an art in everything.
He's an actor, director, dancer, harmonicist, and African art collector. The eldest of 7, Wheatley comes from a family of entertainers.
We all sing. My mother sang, my father sang, we all sang, my grandparents sang.
Wheatley's career began decades ago when he moved to Sacramento for work as a rehabilitation supervisor.
People talked about having an organization that taught acting or whatever, or dancing or something like that, but I didn't see it happening.
So he founded Celebration Arts, a platform dedicated to nurturing talent in acting, dancing, and music.
My objective was to start an organization and then bring in people, local people, and have them run the organization. I was in it far longer than I thought I would be. But so it's okay.
For more than 3 decades, the organization serves as a cradle of inspiration, helping countless individuals pursue their artistic dreams. While James Wheatley isn't directly involved in these rehearsals going on at Celebration Arts right now, his legacy and the way he empowers generations of artists lives on.
So I'm always looking to see what people are doing to better themselves. If they're learning more and they're understanding more, their performance is going to be totally different than it has been in the past.
These days, he's enjoying his second retirement, but still teaching, all for fun.
People have things. People have the ability to do things, to create things, to be things, but sometimes it takes somebody to help open the door. I can't open the door. But if you want to do it, then I can point you down a trail.
James Wheatley, a man whose passion has inspired generations and left an unforgettable mark on the arts community. In Sacramento, I'm Brandy Cummings, KCRA 3 News, celebrating Black history.
Right now at Celebration Arts, you can check out the production titled Fences, written by August Wilson. It's about the struggles of a former baseball player, and the production runs through March 2nd. Well, thank you for joining us for a KCRA 3 Project Community Special celebrating Black History Month. All of these stories and more are also on the KCRA 3 app and our website. Thank you, and have a good night.